Madam Secretary, I admire your courage in going to Ukraine, and I'm glad you're battle-tested for coming here to our committee.
Thanks.
Let me ask you, I'm hopeful that the Republicans will get to us their budget plan in 30 days, just as they've asked for commitments from you to do things within 30 days. They seem to think that we can continue to deal with our debt problems by removing revenue from our vital public services. And I want to touch on two areas that I think the President and you have acted most appropriately to sustain our needs. One of those is for Medicare. They say belatedly now that they won't cut Medicare, but they seem unwilling to make the changes that are necessary to sustain Medicare for our grandchildren as well as for our current seniors. I introduced legislation last year concerning the net investment income tax, and I have reintroduced it, and I see that's included in the President's budget. Isn't it correct that the estimates are that about 85% of that increase would be paid by those who earn $1 million or more a year, and that none of the tax burden would be on those below $400,000?
That's correct, and the proposal wouldn't raise it on anyone making under $400,000, and the revenue would be devoted to Medicare, to shoring up the hospital trust fund.
And the President, I believe, has a plan to extend it even beyond 2040, just closing the loophole and correcting the mistake that was made about the net investment income would extend Medicare solvency to 2040. So if people really believe in Medicare, they'll be willing to take the steps to ensure it's there. And of course, the second one, and it mystifies me at the creativity of our Republican colleagues in coming up for excuses to defend multinationals for not paying their fair share for our national security, though they benefit from it perhaps more than any other group in our society. So I admire your leadership on the global minimum tax. This newest excuse we've heard this morning is that it's going to all help China. They helped China yesterday with their China Bond First program, but tell me about why it is an error to claim that China will somehow benefit from stopping the race to the bottom.
China will not benefit at all from this. China will be forced to raise their minimum tax on their multinationals up to the level of 15% on a country-by-country basis. And China has signed on to the agreement, but if for any reason China failed to enact this tax and put it in place, there's an enforcement mechanism built into this agreement by which the United States or other countries in which Chinese firms do business, where they have subsidiaries doing business, we would impose a top-up tax on Chinese corporations operating in the United States or in Europe, where they've already put the tax into place. So if China doesn't tax these firms, their multinationals, we will do it, and we'll keep the tax revenue. But one way or another, we will level the playing field so Chinese firms are on the same footing as our multinationals.
Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.